Hello, everyone. I hope we are doing super well today. It's Sunday, yeah. Thank you. Well, as you all know, a lot has been going on with Colin Kaepernick and him choosing not to stand during the national anthem. Some people are very upset, and they're telling him things like, well, you can leave America, you know, we're supposed to stand up for our flag and respect it, blah, 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 yada, 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 sis boom ba. But what trips me out, and they look up racist tweets on Google racist tweets, and I'm sure you'll find several slurs. But I think it's very interesting that this man is being scrutinized, demonized, and all kinds of things, basically criminalized for standing up for something that should be stood up for, while someone like Kim Davis was praised for not doing her job.
And there's also there's someone who's supposed to be filling a Supreme Court slot, because we have a vacant slot. This guy decided to say, I'm not going to do my job. I hate Obama so much, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to work on trying to fill the next slot. I don't care about my job. I'm just going to sit back and collect taxpayer money. No one's complaining about that.
But I think it's crazy because, as Kim Davis's job was to sign, marriage licenses for her particular county. And when same-sex marriage was legalized, when they gave us our freedom, when they gave us the right, when they gave gay people the right to marry, she was one person who was against it. So when people were going in to get their marriage license, she was refusing to give it, which was her job. That wasn't something, that wasn't the national anthem that, we're forced to do. I mean, granted, she's not being forced to do that job, but she took an oath to do that job. To do that was her job. To sign papers and be the clerk or whatever the hell, blase, blase, blah. But she was praised. People praised her. People raised money for her. She was deemed as a
martyr.
Hero. Yeah.
She was deemed a martyr.
She was a freaking hero for people. But Kaepernick is a demon.
People are saying stuff like he's being disrespectful to the vets, and there's vets who are like, no, he's not. I'm not a vet, and I personally believe that he's not being disrespectful at all. He's actually pointing out a major issue about police brutality and the fact that people of color are being treated like shit by America. Now, let's also talk about the fact that since I brought up veterans, we're also going to talk about the fact that America treats veterans like crap too. But the same people who are saying Kaepernick is disrespecting veterans aren't the ones who are going ham about the government disrespecting veterans.
The fact that there are so many homeless vets is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's so many vets that have mental issues. There's so many vets that are disabled because they've had a limb blown off or because they're so mentally damaged.
I met homeless veterans in Seattle, Washington from the Vietnam War. There's still veterans from that war that are homeless. And that is ridiculous. But yet here we are. We're up in arms about a football player sitting during the national anthem in a silent protest. Now, he's not hurting anybody. He hasn't denied anybody of anything.
He hasn't made any threats.
He hasn't made any threats to anyone. He hasn't stood in anybody's way. He hasn't did anything of the sort, but yet people are livid. People are frustrated. People want him to go back to the motherland. They want him to go back to Africa. You have black people who are coming up and saying that he's not black enough.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't understand.
And as a light skin person, as a person who has light skin in America, I know what that feels like to have that talked about, to not be black enough, or to be told by darker skinned people in America that I don't understand the ploys, the troubles that darker skinned people go through, which is
light skin privilege.
Yeah, it's not true. I mean, even if it is true, I mean,
I'm still looked as black by the other people, and by racist, or I still look suspect. And even if I don't look black, I still look Hispanic. I still look like a person of color.
Right.
So it really don't mean nothing. I mean, the thing that irritates me about some black folks is that some of us act like we're the only group of people being oppressed. When I say people of color, I mean Asian. I mean Hispanic. I'm Indian, Native American.
Yeah,
people
Muslim.
Who are brown skin, basically. People who are not white. Because let's be honest, if you're white, life is an easy button for you.
And we're just supposed to be quiet and silent about it.
And anytime anyone brings up something about white privilege, people get mad. Have you ever noticed that anger is the first sign of denial? It's one of the first signs of denial. Denial means something's true. You're just choosing not to see something. Or maybe, unfortunately for you, you're so hardwired to see that this is the right way that society is supposed to be, that whenever someone defies society and says, no, this isn't right, about whatever subject, it bothers you. Instead of getting mad about it, how about you analyze why is this making you mad? A lot of the things that piss us off are things that are actually either we like it, or we ultimately, deep down inside, we know it's wrong. Yet for some strange reason, the human mind chooses to react in an anger fashion towards it.
Yeah. As opposed to dealing with it positively.
Because dealing with it positively will get rid of the problem.
Yeah, and I think that's what Kaepernick is doing. Dealing with it positively. I like to think that. I mean, but then again, we've never had an option as people of color where we can protest the things that are going on, because whenever it was peaceful, it didn't matter. It was always deemed as
too much.
Yeah.
And we were always met with an opposition. We were either always met with opposition or a violent opposition. Another thing that I've also seen that I'm afraid of happening with Kaepernick's protest is that it becomes commercial.
Yeah. Which it has the possibility of doing.
Mm-hmm. Other players are sitting out the national anthem, but I'm wondering, are they doing it because they believe in what he's saying wholeheartedly, and they're sitting because they agree? Or is it because they're doing it because it's the in thing to do? Because it's cool to be radical?
Ugh.
And if that happens, that can destroy the entire thing and the entire message.
Now, white people, don't think that I don't understand as a person of color that we as humans, as people, all people, every race, are being oppressed by something greater than we can understand. Especially when it comes to money. And if we, as people, don't realize that, if we don't start seeing things like that, that's when those divides of I'm black and you're white are, continuing. Because it really is becoming I'm rich and you're poor. And I've run into some of and it's just We're all a part of it. We're not all the same color. No.
But we are a part of the same
broken
species.
system, and I know that. Well, species as well as the broken system.
Yeah. There's no other species like us on this planet. None. And as far as we know it, in our local solar system, there's no other species like us. So we need to come together and respect each other's diversity, because our diversity is what makes us us. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of the human. And just like in Star Trek, how they always picture, Earth Federation, I guess, being a one singular government where everyone is together. A lot of people think that's scary and communist, but what it's also saying is that it's everyone's kind of got past their petty differences, and it's Joshua instead of this black guy or this black and Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah. We have too many labels. But I just wanted to bring the question up to your mind today on this Sunday. Why was Kim Davis praised? And why is Colin Kaepernick being scrutinized? What you think?